Flying Lotus Spirit Box EP review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest sort of surprise EP from producer, songwriter, director, Flying Lotus, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I am aware that this EP review is a little bit late, but I did not even know that this thing came out until a few days after it did. Flying Lotus, for those that you don't know, is an electronic music and instrumental hip-hop producer. He's been at it since the late 2000s, and upon his arrival, he did something that I didn't think was really possible for me at the time, and that was save a modern electronic and instrumental hip-hop for me. Albums like Los Angeles and Cosmogramma and You're Dead. These things did more for me in these genres than A, B, and C that everybody else was doing at the time. Now, since his initial heyday, things have cooled down a little bit for Flying Lotus as he's stopped putting out music as much as he used to. It used to be hard to keep up with the guy. And the last time that we heard from him, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I wasn't the biggest fan of his Flamagra album. I mean, as much as I'm a fan of artists trying new things and experimenting, this album just got a little too out there, just for the sake of nothing as well. Now, like I said, this EP dropped about a week or so ago, pretty much out of nowhere outside of the Garmonbozia single that dropped earlier this year, as well as a few more others as well. But I do have to say, I actually really like this thing. Ajhussi that starts off this EP, not gonna lie, I think it's pretty freaking slick. I love the heavy synth work that we get here and how dark this track comes off, because trust me, it does. But when that very sleek beat just breaks through it all, it's just magic. It's instantly me being teleported back to the glory days of Flying Lotus. It's groovy, it's sleek, I love the shimmering production here. Flying Lotus on this track just sounds majestic, and after how iffy I was on the Flamagra album, this to me is just a homecoming. It's so easy to get lost in that it just takes me back to a simpler time, and that's just nice. The vocal sampling is really classy too. Also, do really love Garmonbozia that dropped earlier this year, and I'm glad to see that Flying Lotus is still very much in his Twin Peaks phase, and anytime that I can bring up Twin Peaks on this album without me bringing it up myself is a good day. But it is by far the most formless and most unique sounding cut on this entire thing. That synth line is just so jittery and chilly, but also welcoming. And we also get some vocals from Flying Lotus here, which honestly, not for nothing, I mean, they are pretty decent. I mean, yeah, they're nothing to write home about. They never have been anything to write home about. However, he sounds comfortable. The track is very Twilight, very surreal. Also, the instrumental version that we get a little bit later on, it's fine, it's decent, it's nothing bad. Also, really love the Lost Girls featuring Sid Saram. Everything about this track, from the warm synths to the very haunted vocals, is very, very interesting. Like, everything about this track just seems enchanted, like Flying Lotus gave it life. And like I said, we do get a few instrumental versions of all the tracks that had vocals on later on in this EP, and I actually prefer this version to the instrumental quite a bit. I actually can't listen to it without these very chilly vocals. And my thoughts on Ingo Swann haven't really changed at all. I still think it is just one of the sleekest and funkiest tunes I've heard from Flying Lotus in years. I mean, the groove that he locks in on, I mean, it just takes me back. The bass line here is absolutely magic. Everything about this track gets me up and grooving on the dance floor. Honestly, I think it's the best track here. Now, I do have two issues with this EP, actually three issues. One, the instrumental tracks are kind of hit and miss towards the end of that. I've kind of let my thoughts known on a few of those already. B, the length. I mean, at this point, I just want another truly great Flying Lotus album, and this EP, while very decent, definitely leaves me hungry for more. But three, and most importantly, Let Me Cook featuring Dawn Richard. What happened here? I mean, this is easily my least favorite track here, and I mean that in the most disappointing way, just because I've been such a huge fan of Dawn's music for years. Like, this could have been so cool, but her performance here, I just feel like it doesn't really go with anything else. I'll be honest, I appreciate the instrumental that we get later on infinitely more than this version. It's just kind of awkward and lopsided, and it never really gets going. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with this EP. I mean, yeah, like I said, I personally would have much rather Flying Lotus put out another really great, mind-bending, truly progressive record for us to dive our teeth into. But as far as this EP goes, this is most certainly not bad at all. The beats are slick, the production is glistening, and FlyLo just sounds like he's getting back into that creative mindset where he can just make you get lost in his music so effortlessly. And for that, I'm feeling a very decent 7 on this EP, but let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.